Hello and welcome to the RK Football Podcast. It's episode 4 of season 3. Moving along nicely. I'm Carl Dixon, joined in the studio as per usual by two Matts. We've got Matt Tye.
Hello.
And Matt Thowney.
Hello.
No special guest this week due to scheduling issues. Hopefully Graham, Stuart and the rest of the gang, I can't even go through all the names, there's too many. Hopefully they will be joining us eventually.
It's just Mark and David.
It is just Mark and David, yes.
We're not this massive production company
It
yet.
feels like it, doesn't it? We've got, as usual, got a lot to get through. Premier League weekend. Rafa Benitez's failure at Football Manager. Does he not know what that INE means? We've got Gary Neville. Well, last week we predicted that Valencia will be managed by a Neville. We just got the wrong one.
In fairness, we were right. Phil Neville managed them against Barcelona and got the draw.
Yeah.
and they've thought Gary will get it.
Stick with Phil.
In Phil we trust.
We want to talk about the top goal scorer in Britain of the calendar year so far, Watford's Igalo, and
Generic football.
Where we've also got the FA Cup third round draw tonight. Obviously we're recording on Monday night, so during the episode we've got the FA Cup third round draw, and we'll be predicting the Champions League, UEFA Europa League and the Premier League. So let's get into it. We'll start with the Premier League roundup of the weekend, I think, because we need to
Get that out of the way.
We need to get people up to date if anyone hasn't saw. The early game was at the Britannia, Stoke versus Manchester City. And, I mean, I'm pretty sure last week in the predictions we all went Man City.
I went for a draw.
You went for a draw. Nobody went for Stoke. That was the point I'm making.
No.
What a performance from Stoke. What a performance.
It was a great performance from Stoke.
No, it was a great performance from Butland and Arnautovic.
And Shaqiri.
No.
No?
No, there were assists that, to be honest, a player of his quality should be getting.
So that would still make a good performance.
No, hang on.
He's produced
No, but City made it too easy for him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They made it too easy for him to put that ball in there. And, I mean, don't get me wrong.
City was
great
shocking
vision,
defensively.
But him in form, when he's going to be in form, can do much better than just an assist like that. So it's good, but it's not amazing.
I think that's a tag that sort of followed Shaqiri around for a while now, where it's you could be so much more than you're actually doing. I mean, when he was in Italy, he had the capability to be where Neymar is now.
No.
At that young age, he was talked about in the same breath.
He was
as
only
Neymar
in Italy
was.
for 6 months.
Not Italy, but at a younger age, he was talked about as such a huge potential, and he hasn't lived up to it.
Well, I mean, the thing is that City made it, in my opinion, too easy for Stoke. They looked good because City were terrible.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
very
De
bad.
Bruyne still played well. It's just that Butland was playing even better.
Attacking wise, City were City. They're a good attacking
Yeah.
side, but defensively they were shocking. And once again, there was no Vincent Kompany, and City fell apart at the back.
Well, it's what is it with him in the team in the last, this season and the back end of last season, they've not lost with Kompany in the side.
I know, exactly.
That's ridiculous, in my opinion.
You could see how bad they were defensively against Stoke, and they're going to have a problem in the Champions League when Kompany's still going to be out.
Who are they facing? They've got.
They've got.
Is it Borussia Mönchengladbach?
It is Borussia Mönchengladbach. Yeah.
Is it at Gladbach?
Yeah.
They just beat Bayern at Gladbach 3-1.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough set. We'll get on to that. We will get on to that. So City lost in the early game, and that gave maybe Manchester United at 3 o'clock the impetus to take top spot and make it their own.
Called it.
And you did call it 0-0.
I just think that I think Jamie Redknapp was right what he said. I think it was last weekend. No team in this title in this season is taking the season by the scruff of their neck. City looked like it at the beginning. They looked solid favourites. Now you're thinking, like Arsenal were probably favourites now, but not because they're playing extremely well.
Everyone's playing poorly.
I mean, Leicester are the only ones actually playing well, and you think, but Leicester are going to win it.
Before we move on to
surely.
Leicester, we'll actually go with the 5:30 game, and we're not going to speak about it too much. We have spoken about Chelsea quite a lot, but Chelsea lost again at home to Bournemouth this time, and while that's a great result for Bournemouth, we will talk about that.
That is a fantastic result for Bournemouth.
We will talk about that in just a moment. So Chelsea, City lost. Liverpool on the Sunday away to Newcastle lost as well, which leaves, yes, Arsenal won, United drew, so Leicester's 3-0 victory over Swansea and the 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday means Leicester are top of the league.
2 points clear.
And the funny thing is,
clear.
Vardy didn't score, and Mahrez gets a hat-trick instead.
He had his chance to, but he laid in Mahrez for the hat-trick, which is quite commendable, really.
Well, I think a player that's been that was quite underrated in that game was I can't think of his name, which is bad, but
I think I know who you mean. N'Golo Conte.
Yeah, he was phenomenal in that game. I
was.
watched it, and literally he ripped Swansea apart.
And it wasn't just his breaks from midfield, it was the way he was winning the ball on the 18-yard line, really.
I mean, when he got to the edge of that box, you just had a feeling something could happen, and I have a feeling he's going to keep doing that now.
Because they picked him out on Match of the Day, and he was like one of those typical box-to-box midfielders. He was winning the ball at his box, then running to the other full length of the pitch, and then setting up someone like Vardy for a chance.
But there are a lot of unsung heroes in that Leicester squad at the minute. I mean,
Drinkwater's one.
Danny Drinkwater, he's grown. He's probably in his position in the Premier League at the moment. He's probably the best in his position in terms of football week in, week out. You've got Kasper Schmeichel in goal, it's a great clean sheet to keep away at Swansea. That is.
Robert Huth is probably playing some of his best football since he left Chelsea.
I wouldn't say best football since he
Maybe
left
those
Chelsea.
early days at Stoke.
I'd say since he left Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough, he was brilliant at, I thought, and then slowly went down the pecking order at Stoke, and then
you've also got the new signings. You mentioned Conte. You've mentioned Drinkwater wasn't a new signing, but you've got a new signing in a way in Riyad Mahrez, because this season he's just been unstoppable.
Well, the thing that worries me with Leicester is that they're going to do a Newcastle.
They are going to.
I think
that's it. Matt's decided.
I think they will.
But which Newcastle? The side
think
that beat
about
Liverpool, or the side that got stuffed?
Think about it this way, yeah. Johan Cabaye is like Mahrez, yeah. Then you've got Jamie Vardy, who was like Demba Ba and Papa Cisse in that season. And then you go to the goalkeeper, and that was Tim Krul.
It is
I feel that if those players don't perform next season, that's it. They're going to drop dramatically.
A lot of people are surprised by it, but you actually see this once or twice, to be fair. If you look back through the Premier League history, I mean, the first season, Villa was second in the title, second in the league. You see Blackburn won the league from nowhere.
Norwich nearly won it in the same year as well.
Yeah, Norwich nearly won it. Newcastle in the early 2000s.
Leeds had a good few seasons.
Yeah. It comes out of nowhere, and Leicester quite possibly could end up in the top 6 this season. Quite possibly.
Yeah, I could see that happening, but their problem is, and it's going to be a problem that they need to get sorted before Christmas. They're not winning against the top 8.
They just don't.
Result against the top 8. That's awful.
They just don't want to be a Hull City. Hull City in it third at Christmas. Ended up third from bottom, fourth from bottom even. They stayed up that season.
I've currently got Leicester's next 4 fixtures, and they are probably some of the toughest 4 fixtures you would want in the Christmas period. Home to Chelsea on Monday, away to Everton on the Saturday, then the following Saturday away to Liverpool, and then 3 days later home to Manchester City. That will define their season. If they can
I can see him getting a result against Chelsea the way things are going. I mean, I don't want them to, because obviously I'm a Chelsea fan, but the way Leicester are playing, I wouldn't be surprised if we did end up on the wrong end of that result. But the other games, I do agree, yes, this could define their season.
Liverpool, I'm not sure about, because as we've mentioned before, Liverpool against the big sides are playing really well. Against Newcastle, Crystal Palace, they're not.
That's unfair in my opinion, because Newcastle is not the easiest ground to go to in the Premier League, and it never has been. And they've got a really bad record.
It's a lot easier this season. Considering half the fans walk out after 40 minutes.
But didn't their best player stand out by...
Oh, no, I'm not saying Newcastle wasn't brilliant, but I think the fact is that Liverpool under Klopp, they're not dependable.
I think the thing was that Klopp did say, didn't he, that we didn't play the way that we've played since I've got here.
No.
Which is true. They were not dominant. They weren't running forward and scaring the defenders. They were running forward and then passing it round the box again. You thought, just have a pop.
Exactly. I mean, Leicester will be hoping to keep it up, most definitely. Whether they can will be a different story, of course.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the relegation battle, because there was some really, really big wins. We've mentioned some of them. Obviously, Bournemouth's win at Stamford Bridge is huge for them. They were, I believe they're still in the bottom three actually, but
they've
taken them out.
They've gone out now thanks to because of Sunderland's result.
It's got a Sunderland's result, yes, but both Newcastle and Bournemouth of that bottom four picked up wins, while Villa picked up a valuable points away to Saints. Sunderland were the real losers at the weekend.
Yeah,
I mean they to be fair, they didn't play too badly at Arsenal. They did not play too badly at all, but you've got to get the results when you're playing okay. Do you know
Wasn't
what I mean?
it at the Emirates though?
It was at the Emirates.
So
yeah.
like, give them credit for playing well, but it's another hard ground to go to that you just don't want to get.
Yeah. So, how big of a result can Bournemouth take from that? Because they got the last-minute equaliser last week, of course, and they've taken it into the game against Chelsea.
Who have they got next though?
I'm getting them up now.
Their next game is Manchester United at home, which, yes, you would go, oh, that's a tough game. But Man United aren't playing too well. They haven't been playing too well all season, to be fair.
Have you seen paint dry?
But
just asking. No, I'm just asking.
Bournemouth, basically, it would have felt like a win, that draw against Everton.
Yeah.
They got a great win against Chelsea, and at home, in front of an atmosphere that you know it's going to be. That's a great chance to get a memorable
I do see what
win.
you mean, like, because obviously they can go to any ground and get a result you feel after those last two they got. But I just feel that United, after coming, well, depending what happens in midweek, depends what United you're going to get. If United go out, then they might be on the end of a thumping, like as a reaction, or if they win, they might get carried away themselves and Bournemouth take advantage of that.
It's also a case of who's available for United, because they've also picked up a few more injuries, because Morgan Schneiderlin and Wayne Rooney are missing out. Anthony Martial is not 100% fit.
I think Morgan Schneiderlin isn't actually injured. He's just really struggling to get in the team because it's playing, apparently, according to Van Gaal, very well. Apparently that's very well. Apparently drawing a lot is playing really good football.
I mean, I suppose
for a defensive midfielder, he's stopping the other team scoring, which is well for him.
Yeah, no, true. But then he didn't just score when he was at Southampton. He didn't just defend when he was at Southampton.
True.
He did score, didn't he? So
I suppose for United, they'll look at it and go, I'd rather draw than lose.
Yeah.
I suppose.
They're sort of doing a Roy Hodgson, avoid defeat and then get anything.
And they are sitting at 4 for the league.
I wouldn't have really said there was a Roy Hodgson.
When Roy Hodgson first took over England, we just all agreed that his main method was to avoid defeat.
Yeah.
And I suppose United's target this season isn't necessarily to win the league, it's to put up a title challenge, which even with their points they're slowly picking up, they're sitting in 4th.
I think one thing
they are 3 points off.
Van Gaal needs to stop doing, because I'm getting fed up of hearing it, because even my mates on like Facebook and everything, they're saying to me, Van Gaal should stop putting United down. He, every time he's in a news conference, he says something that he's trying to spark a reaction, but it's not working.
Yeah.
And like he said, we won't win the Champions League this season. Yeah, you're probably not, but why are you saying that? Like, don't you? There's no need to say that.
I suppose it's a type of manager. I mean, you get some like Mourinho or Klopp who will go, why not?
But then you look at their careers and they've had, like Van Gaal has as well. He's had really good teams in the past where that has worked. He's done this throughout the season and it's not working. Like they're not scoring.
I think that's more on the players than the manager though, because Sir Alex Ferguson was never one to go, I think we could win everything this season. He was very realistic in what he said.
It's an odd momentum change for Van Gaal, because last season, particularly after they lost away to Chelsea, and the interview said, "Oh, is this you out of the title race?" Van Gaal said, "No. While we're still mathematically in a chance, we can still win it." It's very much he's gone flipped over.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Even though they've got a really strong chance, they're 3 points off the top after 15 games of the season, which anyone would say, you know, well, we can still have a go here. For him to hands up and goes, maybe not our season, is very different.
Yeah.
I am very surprised at United's attacking problems when you consider that the players they've got.
It doesn't help they're playing possibly one of the best young strikers around there as a winger.
Yes.
That is the most disappointing thing I think I've seen.
When you consider you've got Rooney, Martial, Mata, Depay, Lingard's come through as a great threat.
I wouldn't call Rooney good. Not anymore.
So,
Like,
so you're saying Rooney shouldn't
For
be in that
me,
Man United
personally, I don't think he should be on the plane to the Euros.
squad? When you say good, do you mean good enough for a title-winning side, or just good at all?
Okay, I will answer that question by saying this. Should he be going to the Euros? In my opinion, he shouldn't be, because he's not playing good enough. He's a striker that should be scoring. Is he scoring? No. When he scored for England, he scored with penalties.
Has he been playing up front, though?
Yes.
Yes.
As the main centre forward when Martial's in the squad as well?
Yes,
because Martial's on the side.
Yeah, but they're all interchangeable.
Well, then why is, in my opinion, when Rooney's in that position, he should be scoring in that position. When you're giving it, that, like when I was
I'm not
playing
saying
outfield,
he's playing well, but I think what you've also got to understand is he's the England captain.
Yes, isn't captaincy supposed to go to either your best player or most experienced player?
No.
It's most experienced.
No.
He's not certainly not our best player.
It's not about best player or most experienced. It's about who's the leader on the pitch.
I wouldn't really call him.
I've got Rooney's stats for the season for United so far. He's played 12 times in the league. That's including starting and substitutes, and he's got 2 goals. He's played twice in the League Cup and got 1. He's played 6 times in Europe and got 4 goals. That's his season.
It's a good European record.
It's a good European record. But
I think
3 of them are against Ajax.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Roy Hodgson, in my opinion, is sticking to him just because he gave him that captain's armband. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm probably not seeing what he's doing on the training ground. So
yeah,
I think maybe my opinion is a bit biased.
So in terms of the England striking options in the Euros, if you're not taking Rooney because he's not playing well, you're not taking Sturridge because he's not fit enough. Really.
Yeah.
Is it too much of a risk?
Yeah, I'll tell you that.
So you've got Harry Kane,
Yeah.
Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
Who else?
Oh, what was that? Someone else mentioned just like a few days ago.
But that's the point. You haven't got enough proven talent.
I haven't got enough proven talent, but in my opinion, what I'm basically saying is that Rooney, why should he start?
Because he is a player that, yes, he's not playing well, but if you need to rely on him, he'll do a job.
What job? Score a penalty.
He'll hold up the line. He'll bring other people into play. Jamie Vardy wouldn't, because he's not experienced enough at international football.
But wouldn't you say United are relying on him as their captain to inspire them to get a performance?
Definitely,
but they're not.
Yeah, he's not playing well. He's definitely not playing well at all.
I've not seen one time this season, like, your captain, your leader, essentially, like Matt just said, is supposed to inspire you to victory. It's like the likes of Steven Gerrard when they were losing 3-0 in Champions League final. You inspire them to win the Champions League, yeah? Everyone will never forget that. The likes of John Terry, Ryan Giggs, I can name loads. Wayne Rooney, not once this season, has then dominated the game, and for me said, right, I put my
there is a severe lack of confidence in not just Rooney but the whole Manchester United squad.
And when Rooney's not confident, doesn't that mean the rest of the team
isn't? Compare him to a few seasons ago where he went on that unbelievable scoring run. I think before he was United captain.
But that's 6 years ago now.
No, it was a couple of seasons ago. Well, he wasn't that great, but he was.
He scored like 15,
16 goals.
Yeah.
Not that mental one, but the season sort of just before he got made United captain. If you compare him now, he's like a shadow of a figure of what he used to be. Surely, as any top-level player, having the captain's armband of the club you probably ended up supporting because you've been there for so long, who've given you that opportunity, that would be a motivator to sort of put out 110%. It's almost like he's had the worst effect possible. It's like, I think you're good enough to be our captain. He's almost like, well, I'm captain, I don't really need to do much anymore. And it's almost like that.
This is how I also see it. We go to the Euros and we take him. In my opinion, if he doesn't play well, we've wasted a space in that spot, in that squad. That's how I see it.
Who would you give the spot to?
Who would give the spot to? Ross Barkley.
Ross Barkley's not a centre forward.
Hang on.
Ross Barkley's already in the squad, guaranteed, because he's.
You're saying you're taking Rooney as a striker.
No, I wouldn't take him as a striker because he's not a striker. A striker scores goals. Where's his goal scoring?
Okay. So you take him as a centre midfielder, yeah?
Yeah, but then he's not good in centre midfield. Right.
Okay.
So if you're going to look at him as a midfielder role, would you choose like Dele Alli over him then?
Yeah.
But what if Dele Alli is in form right now, but players of his age dip in and out of form, and by the end of the season, Dele Alli might not be playing very well?
No, then you don't take him. and you take
But
Ross Barkley.
So you would run your international tournament team, European Championships, on just form, not experience, not big game experience. You'd rather take, all right, maybe not Dele Alli, but say someone else comes through the Spurs midfield now, and he's probably played 10 games at this point by the time the summer comes. You take him and make him your starting centre midfielder because he's playing well.
No, because that's a little bit different. Daniele is a player that he's showing it for England, whereas the likes of
he had a great game against France. But I'm pretty sure he's only made 2 or 3 England appearances.
He's made 3 appearances, and in those 3 appearances he's played 130 something minutes.
But I don't think that's enough to really lie.
No, but my point is overall here is that Wayne Rooney, if he goes on that plane, he shouldn't be in the starting 11. That's it.
Yeah, that's a different question, to be fair. Yeah, I'm not saying he should start. I just think he should be with the squad at least, because his experience will help. It's like, for example, in the 2010 and 14, I think he went to the 2010 World Cup, we took Lampard. Wasn't really going to play much.
No.
He came off the bench a lot, but he was in the squad because of his experience.
But then, in my opinion, if your captain is on the bench a lot, then he shouldn't be a captain. Do you see what I mean?
So I get what you're saying. That is a different question again. Yeah.
I don't think he's good enough to be in that starting 11. So straight away, he's not good enough to be captain. Joe Hart should be our captain.
We'll have to see at the end of the season, because Rooney may come back into form now, and you'll have to eat all your words.
Yeah, all right then, I will. But
you wouldn't mind, though, would you? You wouldn't mind if he fires England to go.
I would. I'm saying this in a way of inspiring him.
Yeah.
Please start scoring, or else don't go, please.
We will move on because we've talked a hell of a lot.
I'm going to say a good 10 minutes on Rooney.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We'll move on to Watford, though, and onto a striker who is scoring goals.
Yeah.
Ighalo is the top goal scorer in English football in the calendar year of 2015. 2 more than Harry Kane, I believe. And
are Man City going to buy him, considering he was the top scorer and overtook Wilfred Boney, who was the top scorer of 2014?
They did it with Boney, to be fair, but I'm not sure.
Between Swansea and Watford, I think.
I'm not sure Ighalo is the right fit for Manchester City. When you consider Ighalo 3 years ago was playing in the Spanish second division, it's a hell of a rise. He's probably in the top 10 strikers in the Premier League at the moment.
Yeah, I'd put him in that bracket.
It's a hell of a rise, and it helps that he's playing with such a good strike partner in Troy Deeney. You can see the partnership they've got. They know where each other are. They are a hell of a partnership. Where do Watford? Can Watford keep it up? Just same question with Leicester, really.
Well, no, in my
9th in the league at the moment.
It's a bit like with Harry Kane for Spurs. Can Ighalo keep it up? Because if he doesn't, Watford will drop. That's how I see it.
So there's a lot of sides right. Kane for Spurs, right? Ighalo for Watford, Vardy for Leicester. You'd have to probably say for
Lukaku for
Everton, definitely. Yeah, I was gonna say for Palace, if Balassi and Zaha in particular on the wings have a bad run of form, Palace drop. But that is football, isn't it? If your best players aren't playing well, you don't play well.
Yeah.
Are Watford going to be one of the sides that stay up?
I think it will be now. Right.
I have a strong feeling they will stay up, but it will be close.
I think their defence will let them down.
The defence isn't the strongest, is it? Let's be honest.
I immediately, when I had the opportunity, took a Watford defender out of my fantasy team.
Did you?
Because I hadn't been there for so long, but I couldn't afford to have anyone else in there. The moment I did, I was like, "Get out, please."
We'll move on to a story from last night, actually, and it's one that
I tried to cover.
Yeah, we had Matt Thowney covering the MLS throughout the season last season, and yesterday was the final. And Portland Timbers have won their maiden MLS title, which is a brilliant feat for them, and it shows the growth of the MLS.
Well done.
They beat Columbus Crew 2-1 in the final, and lo and behold, Liam Ridgewell lifted the trophy for Portland
Yeah,
Timbers.
Liam Ridgewell, Portland Timbers captain, and Judas, by the way. And Judas.
And Judas. Let's not
Don't
forget
forget
Judas.
It's quite amazing how many players in the MLS that if you follow English football closely, you'll go, "Oh, I know who that is." I mean, in last night's game, I read how Kay Kamara, who's actually top scorer in the MLS, I'm reading.
He was
right
on
now.
loan at Norwich.
He was on loan at Norwich, yeah. I mean, you pick up a lot. Clint Dempsey's obviously there.
New York Red Bulls have got the Wright Phillips brothers.
Would you be surprised if Carl Lafferty ends up in America?
No, because he's the sort of striker that would end up there. Anthony Stokes,
That's what
who's
I mean,
got the problems at Celtic, could end up there.
Shane Long possibly, if he's still not getting game time at Saints.
There are a
Who's
lot.
Shane Long, he's not really getting game time at Saints.
True, but they won't let him go because someone said to me last night the reason why they've not won their last 4 games, Southampton, is because they haven't got a plan B. And Shane Long is that plan B.
Yeah, I thought
that's why I think they need to keep him.
I've always thought when I've watched Shane Long when he was at Baggies and when he was at Hull, I've always thought he would be a perfect fit for Celtic.
But who did he start at? How he made his name? Reading, wasn't it? Yeah.
I've always thought he'd be a perfect fit for Celtic. The Irish connection. He's the sort of player that would do well.
Yeah,
at
but
Celtic.
you know when he signed that contract, he's crying because he knows his career's gone downhill if he signed that. Right. Sorry, any Celtic fans here, but you know.
Liam Ridgewell.
I've got a picture up of Liam Ridgewell. He looks so much like a lumberjack. Kind of suits to Portland Timbers.
We'll go from America to Spain, where there was 2 big stories last week. We will start with the one we've already mentioned. Gary Neville is the new Valencia manager. That came out of the left wing. Do you know what I mean? That came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Thing is, like 4 hours before, Gary Neville was linked with the possibly Fulham job.
Yeah, he denied interest in the Fulham
He
job.
denied
didn't he?
interest in Fulham job, and he's like, I don't want to really be a manager. And he was like, Valencia announced Gary Neville as their temporary manager for the rest of the season. Like, what?
I do think it's a great move for him.
It is a fantastic move.
It's one of those that actions now speak louder than words because he rips into managers way too often. If he does bad, then he is a hypocrite.
That's what I like in the way in his press conference he said, I've ripped into a lot of managers.
So it's now his turn to show that
because he was asked about he was actually asked the question. This is a great question from the journalist, really brave question to ask Gary Neville. He went, if you were analysing this move, what would you say? What would you see about it? And I thought, oh, good question actually. But Gary Neville did make the point of he has to get results right now. Valencia are a sleeping giant. Yeah, they are one of those sides that are at their best Champions League semi-finals if they play to their absolute best.
Well, he's already
in terms of a club stature.
Yeah, I was going to say in terms of the club stature, not the players.
In terms of him joining the club now compared to this time last week, they've got momentum because they won in the Spanish Cup and they got a draw against Barcelona.
And
which are
they
arguably
have to
one of the best teams in the world.
And it was 0-0 as well, wasn't it? Was it 0-0?
1-0.
1-0, sorry.
They came from behind to draw with Barcelona.
Yeah, they have to beat Lyon
in order to progress to the Champions League knockout stages.
Is the Champions League that important to Gary Neville at this point? It's his first game.
Of course it is.
But I mean,
he wins over the fans if he wins, though.
He does, but if they don't win, he won't get blamed either.
Oh yeah,
it's his first home game, so he has to win.
It's a win. It's not a win-win situation, but you see what I mean. Like, he's not.
He
can't
lose
damage
really either.
Yeah,
I think Neville has to focus on the La Liga really.
He has to focus on La Liga, but he will still want to win his first game.
Yeah, definitely.
So
of course.
Get through to the knockout stage of the Champions League, but then go out on a dodgy away.
And you're laughing, yeah.
Everyone in
maybe
the
go
English
out
public
knockout stage for a dodgy away goal, and then I think it's all right. He got us through when no one else thought we would.
Yeah.
Now focus on La Liga and possibly a Spanish Cup if we're still in that.
Everyone in the English, everyone who's watching English football knows Gary Neville's competitiveness. He will want to win every game.
Really?
He could have a training ground game with the under 10s and he'd be like, get into them, boys, get into them.
First 5 minutes, let him know you're there. One of those double foot.
You genuinely could see that happening.
Yes.
We'll move on to the other big story in Spain, and it's quite an amazing one, really.
A bit of documentation went missing, apparently.
Yeah, but
the Florentino Perez
just use the internet. Do you know what I mean? He could have quite easily found out that...
Google, Wikipedia,
that
YouTube.
Basically, for anyone who doesn't know, Real Madrid have been kicked out of the Copa del Rey
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
because Rafa Benitez played an ineligible player.
He played Danis Cherchev, who also scored their first goal.
Yes. And the best part of this is...
He was suspended.
No, the side that they were playing, Cadiz, I believe it was, it's a lower league side, their fans clocked about halfway through the game that he was ineligible because they were on Twitter and whatnot, and for about 20 minutes in the second half all they chanted was Benitez, check Twitter, Benitez, check Twitter, because it was all over Twitter that Real Madrid were going to get in real big trouble. I just thought to myself, you're losing but you still want to torment him. And now, of course, I'm pretty sure they've been put back into the competition.
Yeah.
Well, that's usually how it works.
Yeah, because that happened with Celtic last season,
Yeah.
didn't it, in the Champions League playoffs. But it just, like, this at the moment, the story of Benitez just screams, you're getting the sack before Merry Christmas, you're sacked.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like at the moment, because they're not.
They're
Nothing's going his way.
I mean, it is just imagine if Manchester United got kicked out of the FA Cup for playing an ineligible player just because he didn't notice that he was meant to be ineligible. That's just amazing. I mean, I could see Van Gaal getting sacked for that. Do you know what I mean? Because United would depend on an FA Cup this season. Yeah. Real Madrid should be looking at the Copa del Rey going, I want to win it. We should win this.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing. We'll move on to the FA Cup third round draw, which I believe should be finished.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so. And
doesn't matter too much.
Let's look at the most eye-catching draws. We've got 5 all Premier League ties. At Vicarage Road, it's Watford versus Newcastle.
Tottenham host Premier League leaders Leicester.
Arsenal play Sunderland in a rematch from Saturday.
Crystal Palace travel down south to Southampton.
Manchester City go to Anglia.
If Southampton got, sorry?
Home to Crystal Palace.
It's going to be a hell of a game, that.
Oh, God's sake.
Top battle at the top of the Championship. Hull will face league leaders Brighton.
Oh, that's going to be a tasty one, I think.
Aston Villa are away to Wickham Wanderers. Oh.
Chelsea are at home to either Leyton Orient or Scunthorpe. Eastleigh are at home to Bolton.
Ooh.
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 Interesting.
Well, for Eastleigh are the lowest ranked team in the tournament so far, and Bolton.
Eastleigh are also about a 10-minute drive from where we are recording at the moment. Interesting.
This could potentially be one of the best ties. Everton will either play Dagenham or Redbridge or non-league side Whitehawk after Whitehawk earned a 95th minute equaliser at the Daggers.
Liverpool away to Exeter City as well.
Who? Sorry.
Liverpool are away to Exeter City.
I love that he says excuse me and you say Liverpool again.
Yeah.
we did hear that bit, don't worry.
Salford, if they can get past their replay with Hartlepool, will also earn another home tie against Derby this time.
There's an all-championship top-of-the-table affair. Hull City play Brighton.
You said that.
I started that off.
You said that.
You went too quickly.
Thanks for listening to me.
What?
Right, I think we've gone over the ties now.
Obviously the third round is a hell.
It's where the Championship and Premier League big boys
It was such a shame that team that played Northampton, I can't remember who they were, and we were watching...
Oh, it's like North Greenwich or something like that.
No, whoever it was, but they were 2-1 up at one stage, and I thought, my God.
They were 2-0. They were 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, and then they lost 4-2, didn't they? Like, oh, damn it.
Wow. So, I mean, we said we wouldn't speak about Chelsea much, but I just want to get your reaction to what could possibly be an London derby, Chelsea, Leyton Orient.
Where was that at?
Leyton Orient have got to beat Scunthorpe to get that. It's at Stamford Bridge.
It would be at Stamford Bridge.
Not Stamford Bridge.
But,
I would like that.
Bradford did it last season.
I would like that, but see what happens first.
Yeah.
See what happens.
A long way away yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally love the FA Cup third round.
We could have a new manager by then.
Let's not get into that. I think it's time, because there are a lot of fixtures to get through. We give ourselves about 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
I was right. It was Northwich Victoria who lost to Northampton.
Northwich.
We will give ourselves this time now to go through all the predictions of Champions League, Europa League, and the Premier League.
Yay!
We can do this.
Have you got all the fixtures up, or do you want me to get up some as well?
You can get up some as well if that's what you want to do. I am literally loading up the Champions League as we speak.
I'll get the Premier League then. You do Europe, I'll do That's closer to home.
Obviously, tonight it's Everton Crystal Palace, but we did predict that
last week.
on last week's show. Obviously, by the time you guys
I think I went for 0-0 as well.
You did.
Schweinsteiger's facing an FA charge.
That's breaking news, I believe.
It is in the last 5 minutes. Bastian Schweinsteiger is charged by FA over the Winston Reid clash. He's been charged with violent conduct by the Football Association after clashing with Winston Reid. He kicked out at the Hammers defender in the 40th minute over a free kick.
He's probably just been charged for making something exciting happen at Old Trafford this season.
He's got until 12 o'clock on Thursday to reply the charge. If he is found guilty, he will face a 3-match ban.
So we'll move on to Champions League, and we'll speak about Manchester United in particular. That's the first big game that jumps out the screen, I suppose, and they are away to Wolfsburg, which is a really tough tie for them. And this is a group now where it's all up in the balance, of course.
Aren't each team on 6 points?
Very close.
That was before the last time they played.
It is still very
United
very
are on
close.
7 now, I think, along with PSV. I think,
it's all very close. It's very squeaky bum time, pretty much.
So we'll get predictions. We'll start with Matt Thowney.
And it's at Wolfsburg, is it?
Yes.
At Wolfsburg.
Oh, 2-0 Wolfsburg then.
Ooh. Straight out the blocks.
Rooney gets sent off.
Rooney's not even playing.
Matt Thowney?
I am going to go for a United special 1-1.
You mean 0-0, right?
Nah, I'm giving them a chance. It's Europe. they score in Europe.
I'm going to go 3-1 Wolfsburg. They are actually a very good side.
They are.
Schürrle and Bastos, of course, up front.
So
Greatest
United
name
will
ever.
be playing on Channel 5 now?
No, it's Channel 5 don't even have the Europa League anymore. It's
That's
all
how
on
bad it's
BT.
got.
It's all on BT.
No, ITV4. Do ITV4 still?
No, it's all on BT.
It's all on BT.
Yeah.
BT have got absolutely everything in European
Don't
football.
you think Dave would have been watching at least one of the matches by now? If he
Yeah.
was on there?
He probably has the Premier League
Our
streaming.
friend
He
Dave,
is.
the arcade friend.
The Arcade Dave.
The arcade Dave. We mentioned City and Gladbach. We actually made a mistake there. It's actually at the Etihad Stadium. City are at home. They have already played away to Gladbach, of course.
Of course. Didn't realise that.
Sorry, guys. Matt Thowney.
Well, I'm expecting the reaction after their defeat at the Britannia, so I'm going to go 2-1 City.
I tend to agree with Matt, 2-1 City.
I thought you said 10-2 then. I was like, what?
well, City don't have any defenders.
I'm going to go 2-2 because Gladbach are coming off beating
3-1,
Bayern at the weekend, which
Might get carried away though.
They might get carried away. We'll have to see. In Portugal on Tuesday night, it's Benfica versus Atletico Madrid. Big heavyweight clash, which you always get at this sort of stage, don't you? You get these heavyweight clashes.
Heavyweight must-wins.
Matt Thowney.
I have no idea how them two are doing in the group, so I have nothing to go off it. Can I have something?
They're doing okay. Do you want me to actually look it up?
No, sod it.
Okay.
It's at Benfica.
It's at Benfica.
So,
If the Eagle lands right, then they're going to win, aren't they?
Oh.
I'm going to go 1-0 Benfica.
Matt Thowney.
the Eagle gets shot. 3-0 Atletico.
Eagle breaks its leg, got landed on it.
I'm going 2-0 Atletico. Let's get
What about the Eagle though? What's your
Screw
prediction?
the Eagle.
Well, I've shot it, so
Yeah.
he's had it for dinner.
Eagle.
Other
Another
poultry
heavyweight
bird.
clash in Manchester City's group as well. It's in Spain. It's Sevilla versus Juventus. Could be a hell of a game for a neutral, that. And it is must-win, really, for
Sevilla.
both sides as well, I suppose. If Juventus want to get top spot,
Juventus got top spot by beating City. Did they beat City last
I'm
week?
not sure it's confirmed yet.
I'm pretty sure it did. I'll get it up.
Because I don't know, but
Hold on, I'm on Wikipedia because that is the font of all knowledge.
Matt Thowney, what do you think Sevilla can do, really? I mean, the performance they played against City, where they were out of the blocks. I mean, I remember an early game, start of the season, the Super Cup. Do you remember?
That game actually means FA because both Juventus and City are confirmed through, and it's just Sevilla, Mönchengladbach for who gets Europa League.
Sevilla are bottom of the group. They'll win the Europa League.
Is that Turin?
It's in Sevilla.
It's in Sevilla.
That's Sevilla.
And Manchester City can get top spot with a win. And Juve losing. So it is win.
Your Benfica, Atletico Madrid, they're both top. Whoever wins will go through as group winners because they're both top and both have 10 points.
All right. I'll go 1-0.
1-0.
That time?
I'm going to go for a 1-0 Sevilla win.
3-0 Juve. I don't like the underdogs. I'm looking for the big tie on Tuesday. There isn't many. I mean,
you're only showing 4 of the games though. There is 4 other matches.
Yeah, but one of them's Chelsea, so we won't talk about that. No, and we'll go Arsenal. We will go Arsenal away to Olympiacos, looking to get revenge for that terrible night at the Emirates at the start of the season.
They have to win by 2 goals, don't they, Arsenal, to go through?
They have to win by 2 goals, yes.
Yeah, so they can win 2-0 or 3-1.
Another point to this could be the guy who scored at the weekend, of course, against Sunderland, Joel Campbell, going back to Olympiacos.
I just thought they don't actually have to win. They have to win 2-0 or just score more than 3 goals and they're through. After that,
they have to win.
They have to win because Olympiacos are 3 points ahead of them already.
Oh yeah, they have to win.
They have to win by 2 clear goals.
No, because it's not goal difference anymore, is it? It's goals scored.
It's done by the head-to-head record. Because Olympiacos have 3 away goals and Arsenal have 2 home goals, they need to win by 2 clear goals.
Oh, I thought if they win by 3 goals and that was it.
No, because otherwise in 2012-13 Chelsea would have gone through against Shakhtar, but we lost on the head-to-head.
Arsenal in the Europa League is not something we have saw for a very long... Well, not Europa League.
Not in our lifetime.
I mean, in terms of... I believe they were in the UEFA Cup in the late 90s, maybe.
Yeah, because they lost the final to Galatasaray.
Yeah. But I actually would kind of like to see it. Just to see if Wenger will just play the kids every Thursday.
It would be nice for the Tottenham fans to sort of like, you're with us now.
Do you reckon Wenger would just have to reschedule all the Arsenal youth games that usually happen on a Wednesday and just go, can we make it a Monday? I've got a big game on Thursday.
Well, half the squad's injured, so he's practically playing.
Yeah, he is, right. Yeah. We'll go over a prediction with Matt Thowney.
Is it at... Where is it at, sorry?
Olympiacos, which is, of course, a tough place to go, Greece. The atmosphere, and you always feel like you're about to be stabbed. That was Ryan Giggs' quote in his book.
2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. Matt Thowney?
I'm going to go 2-1 Olympiacos.
I'm leaning to a 2-2 draw because...
So all of us agree that Arsenal are out of the Champions League, though.
We do, yeah.
We all agree that
Arsenal will be out of the Champions League. At Stamford Bridge, it's Chelsea versus Porto. In
battle for top spot, isn't it?
Battle
that
for
one.
Top spot.
Yeah.
It's a battle for top spot, but also loser could end up in Europa League depending on Kiev's result against Tel Aviv.
Yeah. It's a hell of a game, really, to end it on, because it's one. Well, for the neutral, it could end up being, especially we know what Jose Mourinho's like, and it depends on how the Porto manager goes about it, where both sides just go, let's not lose, and then we're both through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see that happening, yeah.
I can see Mourinho parking the bus. Oh. I could see that quite happen. Although, let's be honest, Chelsea's bus this season has been torn apart. And
it's the Arriva that goes around Bedford.
It's basically just late. A motorbike now, isn't it?
Always late.
Not even that.
It's just a quad bike.
It's one of those wheelie boards that you just see people floating around on, and every so often you just see that guy fall off.
At least it's not Villa's wheelbarrow. We'll go over prediction.
That doesn't even have a wheel, though.
Matt Thowney.
I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea.
That time?
Scrappy 1-0 Chelsea win.
2-0 Porto.
Thanks.
Just, I would love for Porto to nail the pressure on Jose Mourinho after Jose Mourinho just upped and left them.
It wouldn't surprise me if we lost that and Dynamo Kiev, is it in our group?
Kiev, yeah.
Also won. We went out of the Champions League.
I would expect
it wouldn't
that
surprise
Kiev
me if
win.
Mourinho got the sack after that.
I would expect that Kiev win.
Kiev are at home to Tel Aviv.
Yeah, Tel Aviv lost every game and are a -14 goal difference.
Could be worse. Could be Nordstrand.
Don't get me started on the one.
In the final one we'll go to for the Champions League, again in Spain, it's Valencia versus Leon in what is maybe not a heavyweight clash, but a
big one.
They are both big names in Europe, in a way.
Who did you just say? Sorry?
Valencia and Leon.
Valencia, okay.
They're both big names in Europe, both big names in their own countries.
Let's be honest, we wouldn't bring this game up if Neville didn't get the job.
I think we would.
No, we wouldn't. Let's just get to it.
The way it works in the group, Valencia have to win for a chance to qualify. Then they'll have to hope that already qualified and group winners Zenit beat Ghent, who are in second, to allow Valencia to overtake them.
Group H really has been a surprise group. I mean, Zenit are a good side, and you expect
the Champions League's not been good this season.
From
the best team's point of view, it's been
for a
bad.
neutral though. It's been fantastic.
For a neutral, yes,
you've had all sorts of results.
It's like the World Cup. It wasn't the best of World Cups because, from a neutral perspective, not all the best teams done well.
Suppose I can see that angle.
So it's the same in Champions League.
I think it's only going to get better though when you see the likes of, I don't know, Barcelona against Juventus, if it can happen. Do you know what I mean? Those sort of ties. I believe actually if City finish second, they may be facing Barcelona in the next round.
Oh, brilliant!
If City finish second, the confirmed group winners so far will be Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Zenit St. Petersburg.
So you are going to get big ties in the next
They're
one.
going to get big ties.
It's okay. I mean, I don't want to blame BT, but it's this is the one season that their deals came in and it hasn't been that exciting. It might just be because we've got Michael Owen and Robbie Savage on co-commentators. Exactly.
Did you hear Owen's comment about the City game though?
Yes, we did. I did actually.
When City fail to score, they rarely tend to win. Really? Like what is that?
And I also saw him on Fletch and Sav
just
decide to make Chewbacca noises, not Chewbacca noises, R2D2 noises.
It was like a few years back. I think
lost his marbles.
Phil Thompson done the same thing, didn't he?
Yeah, he just went no.
No, he just went like what is it? Oh yeah. At the end of the day, you've got to score to win these games. And I was there like, what? Seriously? Like,
but
it's just when
it's like they get carried away with the popularity they have. They think they can get away with a comment like that.
I know footballers tend not to be smart, but come on. I think even they could get that layman's terms. Score more than them, we win. Yay!
To be fair, Michael Owen wrote a book when he was 19. Like the comedian said, wrote a book when he was 19. You could have put that book into a paragraph. It was...
I feel like he wrote a book when he was 19.
It's like Joey Essex. He's probably written more books than he's read.
Yeah. To be
He
honest, he was like this. They wrote the book, but the sub-editor just basically just replaced every single word.
Oh, God.
The first draft was football. Yay!
We'll move on to the Europa League before we get carried away again.
Oops.
I know. I don't know who does it. I think it's us.
He was into...
Right, let's
we'll start in Turkey. Fenerbahce versus Celtic.
Celtic are already out, aren't they?
They are, yes.
LOL.
Bottom of the league. And there's no third place for a
subgroup.
So yeah.
The old Intertoto.
You go in and you get
Intertoto
Cup. Yes.
But they're playing for pride.
Fenerbahce are playing for second.
Fenerbahce are playing for second.
If Ajax beat Mould,
don't you somehow find it weird how Celtic 3 years ago? Now I know obviously they lost Fraser Forrester during that time, but 3 years ago they beat Barcelona in the Champions League and got through the knockout stage, and now they can't even get through the Europa League.
They beat Barcelona with some very small names as well. I mean, who was it that got the winner? Was his name Tony Watt? Yeah. Where is he now?
What happened to him?
What happened? Where's Tony? We'll get predictions. Matt Thowney.
Oh, flipping heck. 0-0.
Van Gaal it.
Doing a Van Gaal.
Hashtag Van Gaal it.
4-0 Fenerbahce.
I'm going to go 2-0 Fenerbahce because I think you're right there. In Group B, it's another British side away from home playing FC Sion.
Already qualified.
Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool.
Already qualified Liverpool. This will be whoever wins this will get top spot.
Yep.
Well, if Sion win, they'll get top. But if they lose, Rupin Kazan could replace them in second place.
Well, yeah, on goal difference.
On goal difference and the head-to-head and that other stuff that UEFA do.
It's quite amazing that Bordeaux are bottom of the group there. Bordeaux are a very good French side and just haven't
Used
turned
to
up
be.
in the Europa League.
Used to
They
be.
are still a very good French
Used to be.
It's funny.
Let's get to the predictions.
Can we just they were good when Shamak was their striker.
Yeah.
Shamak.
And that one that played
who can hardly get in the Crystal Palace team.
That signed for Fulham. That Diarra. That played for them for a bit.
What, Mohamed Diarra?
Yes. Apparently was very good.
Not the last Diarra who played for Arsenal, Chelsea and Real Madrid, but
Lozano
the other
Diarra,
one.
Yeah. Matt Thowney predictions on Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool.
Well, he smiles too much.
Not actually on Jurgen
okay.
Klopp.
Sorry. I'm going to go 4-1 Liverpool.
I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool.
I'm going to go 2-2.
Oh God, you're a bundle of laughs.
I am. Another big sort of game, I suppose. Two bigger names in Group G. Saint Etienne played Lazio, which is for a neutral who actually watches European football. That's quite a good game to look at. Both sides are already through.
But in the big picture, means diddly.
Means diddly, yeah. But should be a good game. Good game. Both sides can go at it now. It means nothing. So both sides are literally playing for I'm better than you.
Oh yes, I can certainly see this approach.
The reverse fixture saw
agree.
The reverse fixture saw Lazio squeak through as 3-2 winners.
Yeah, so there's goals. There's goals in this. Goals.
I certainly agree. Yes.
Matt Thowney
0-0.
Matt Tye.
2-1 Saint Etienne.
I'm going to go 3-1 Lazio. Lazio are a very good side, to be fair. The big game in Group G, at Group J even, White Hart Lane. Tottenham face Monaco in what is a very, very big game. That
would be good, actually.
Monaco need a win for a chance to qualify for the next round, whereas Anderlecht, even if Anderlecht, who are currently in second, are 1 point ahead of them, and they will be facing bottom side Karabag.
Both sides need to win that, really, because Tottenham have to win or at least get a point to confirm top spot.
Well, the thing is, if Karabag beat Anderlecht and Tottenham beat Monaco, Karabag could go through in second place.
Are you saying carrier bag or Karabag?
Karabag.
It's quite an amazing group, really, that.
It's some team from Azerbaijan.
I think from Tottenham's point of view, they will want to avoid second place, because I'm pretty sure second place
works the same as the Champions League.
They face the Champions League dropouts.
Oh, they don't.
People who finish second in the group, I'm pretty sure they face the Champions League dropouts.
The group winners will be seeded, and the best four of the Champions League dropouts will be seeded. Then the other four Champions League dropouts and the other runner-ups.
Oh, that's horrible.
Be unseeded.
Yeah.
So you could end
top
up.
Spot is important.
So, for instance, in the.
Oh no, I do get what you mean.
United Tottenham in the next round.
I do get what you mean. It's just oh god, it seems more important than Champions League top spot.
Exactly. Predictions, Matt Thowney.
Which game are we doing? Tottenham-Monaco?
Tottenham-Monaco.
Yeah. Monaco have really lost their goal scorers. Like, Martial didn't score that many, but he did have...
Martial became the top player there because Dimitar Berbatov just didn't.
Yeah.
Did he even sign for Monaco? Yeah, I heard he did, but I never actually saw him play.
He quite literally smoked most of his money.
But basically, I don't think Monaco are really going to score, so I'll go 2-0 Tottenham.
Yeah, I'm going 2-0 Tottenham as well.
I'm going to go 3-0 Tottenham. Dele Alli to get a goal.
I thought you Dele Alli get a hat-trick there. I was like, for goodness sake.
In fairness, in the reverse fixture, it was 1-1 in Monaco.
It was a tougher game. I just want to mention Group L, actually. Atletico Bilbao versus AZ Alkmaar. Just because former Villa captain Ron Vlaar has signed for AZ Alkmaar today. So...
Doesn't that just
I
show
hope
how...
Alkmaar lose really badly because Vlaar decided to leave us.
In the game at...
Thank God he did, to be fair.
In the game at Alkmaar, though, Alkmaar did beat Bilbao 2-1.
And that's quite amazing when you look at the group now with Bilbao top and Alkmaar bottom.
Yep. And already eliminated.
Yeah.
Olsberg will face Partizan in winner goes second.
I'm not going to ask predictions on these ones, guys. I was just making the point. Don't
Yeah, I
worry.
was going to say, because I watch them both.
In the early game in the Premier League on Saturday, it's Norwich City versus Everton.
Oh, mouth-watering game that is.
Mouth-watering game. I can't wait to hear Robbie Savage talk about that on BT.
Luckily,
Yeah.
I don't
Don't forget Michael
Said
Owen.
no one.
Don't forget Michael Owen. He's got some expert opinions.
What happened to BT having the referee having Howard Webb?
He's still there, but he's only get involved if there's controversial decisions.
I hope he only gets paid when he actually is used. Just because he's like, just mess up, ref. Come on, mess up. I'm hungry.
I'm living on the rations like I'm a celebrity, please.
Everton, I mean, it's depending on the result tonight, which the game's just kicked off 3 minutes old. But they will look Norwich away and go, if we're going to get Europa League this season, we have to win.
Yeah, those type of games.
Yeah.
Matt Thowney?
I'm going to go for 2-1 Everton, with Nathan Redmond scoring first.
Put that on your accumulator.
You can't put them on an accumulator, unfortunately, so...
Matt Tye?
I am going to go with 3-0 Everton.
I'm going to go 2-1 Everton.
Well, that's 2-1
I had to
Everton.
think. In the reverse of a now announced FA Cup third round tie, Crystal Palace hosts Southampton.
Again, Palace forms and mentality will depend on this result
Yes,
that
it
they're currently
would.
playing. Still 0-0 after 4 minutes.
But Southampton's form isn't great. They should have beaten us on Saturday. They really should have beaten us. And they lost, of course, 6-0 to Liverpool.
6-1.
even. 6-1.
Don't forget that 42nd minute.
Yeah,
Manic.
42nd seconds.
42nd second, man.
Yeah, so are Southampton there for the taking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they... the worst thing is like, I work in a pub where I serve loads of Southampton fans, and Carl will agree with me here if he's had the same opinion from them. They have been so negative going into all these games that, in my opinion, when Villa went there, I said when everyone left that Villa will get a result here, because no one in that ground thinks Saints will get a result. If you have no belief in your
There's a
side,
severe
then seriously,
confidence issue,
Yeah,
isn't
so
there?
they're going to go to Crystal Palace and they're not having any confidence in their team again.
And
Come on, Saints.
I don't understand why there is a confidence issue when you
Yeah.
have the season that Southampton had last season. Yes, they had a
And they
bit
had a
of
good
a
start
poor
to this
start.
season.
Well, they did pick it up after a while.
Yeah.
But it's quite amazing, really, and it is one of those situations where the fans are affecting the players as well.
Yeah. Well, Saints have always been that type of side. Like, whenever I bump into one, they're always really positive and everything. All of a sudden, they've gone all negative on.
Yeah,
To be honest, it's not exactly bad. They're only 1 point off top 10.
exactly.
They are 12th with 21
No,
points.
but in their opinion, in
I
Saints'
know.
opinion, that's not good enough.
Yeah, but
So-
I'm looking at the league table. They're 12th after 15 games with 21 points. If they win against Palace, they're back up to 6th.
Yeah,
Mm.
but the problem I think Saints fans have, and when you look at a lot of the fixtures they've had this season, they should be
win.
winning. They haven't played really many top sides. I
They
don't
said,
believe.
since, I do agree, since they beat Chelsea 3-1,
Yeah,
it was
apart from
3-1,
Chelsea,
yeah.
Yeah.
They have not played well since.
No, they haven't.
And the game against Villa was the perfect example of that. A game they should win. They would have won last season.
And they had enough chances
yeah.
as well. They did have enough chances to beat us.
Yeah.
We'll get predictions, Matt Thowney.
I'm going to go 3-1 Palace. Saints fans are going to hate me for saying it, but they're
Yeah.
being too negative. So
Matt Tye?
I am going to go 2-1 Palace. The way things are going, I don't think it's going to get any better for Saints.
I'm going to go 2-2. I like our scoreline today, 2-2. Ross Barkley has just gone close-ish.
Ish.
6 minutes in there, so that's not too bad.
3 o'clock, it's Manchester... Well, it's two sort of under pressure-ish sides. Manchester City facing Gary Monk's possible final game as Swansea manager.
Well, yeah, if City thump them here, get 5 or 6 goals, I think Monk will be sacked. Because he's in a position now, especially Leicester on Saturday. Yes, Leicester were great, but Swansea were poor.
it
Very
was a bit like with City, like I said. It was a poor performance by Swansea that just allowed Mahrez to get that hat-trick.
And Swansea is a club, fans and the owners, to be fair, that if the players are giving their all, but they come out on the losing end, they don't mind. It's the performance that matters to that owners, and they're not playing for the manager at this point. The players, they really aren't.
It does seem to be he's lost the dressing room.
Yeah, the right.
It's weird that though, isn't it? This is the player that 2 years ago was playing for you, with you. Sorry.
It's their club captain who lifted that playoff trophy to get you.
A lot of the players that are there now, though, weren't there when they were promoted.
There's a few. There's probably 3 or 4 left.
Yeah.
Ashley Williams,
probably Neil Taylor,
Britton,
and
there is another one, but I can't think of his name. But Neil Taylor.
Just a lot of them.
No, that Van Gaal. That's it.
That's it.
But a lot of them aren't like starting.
No,
anymore.
They've dropped down the picking order. So.
Matt, any predictions?
Is it at? Yes, yeah.
It's at Etihad.
Oh, God, blimey. Is it worth it?
No.
Oh, okay then. So it's not going to be 5-0.
Just 4. Although there is.
I'm going to go 3-1. I think Gomez is going to get back on form on the weekend. So.
Quite right next to the City game, there's a little headline on BBC saying Man City have about 13 fit players in their squad at the moment.
Yeah, which is quite amazing, really, when you look at the money they've got and the squad that they've got as well. To be fair, they've built up a good squad. That they're having that many injuries. We thought Arsenal had a bad fit.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus. Matt, Tye?
I'm going 4-1. City's defence isn't that great, but their firepower should overpower a dodgy
I'm going to go 4-0 City. Raheem Sterling scores a hat-trick again.
Again, did you say? Yeah, he scored again.
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Seems like that sort of game. Sunderland versus Watford in a big game for Sunderland. They have to pick up a win after, as we said, being the major loser really this weekend. But Watford will not roll over.
No, I don't think any team is rolling over at the moment in that relegation dogfight.
Except for Villa.
Fairness, you got a good point.
We did get a good point. I felt happy-ish. Matt Thowney, predictions?
Oh, God, blimey. I'm going to go 1-0, I think.
2-1 Watford. Igalo to continue his form.
I'm going to go 3-0 Watford, and the Sunderland fans leave by 35 minutes.
Oh,
seems like
we tried that with Newcastle, and then they ended up winning.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah. So
sorry, Watford, if we've jinxed you there.
We'll go next up. It's at Upton Park, West Ham versus Stoke. The last of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and that's one of those where it's all on Stoke really. The interest. Can Stoke keep up the form, or will they carry on what they've done all season, where you don't know which Stoke are going to turn up.
Yeah.
Matt Thowney.
See, West Ham are playing well at the back, but they're not scoring at all. Now, especially with Sacco and Pyatt
and
Zarate out the team. So I'm going to go...
They're relying on Andy Carroll, who's not even fit on the best
I'm
going to
go 1-0 Stoke, I think.
Andy Carroll's not a footballer at the best of days.
I'm going to go 2-1 Stoke.
0-0.
Van Gaal.
Got to get one in there somewhere, haven't I? Speaking of Van Gaal, the 5:30 kickoff on Sky Sports.
Van Gaal takes his sides to the south coast
to face Bournemouth. We mentioned it a bit earlier. It's a huge game for both sides as well now, because United may well be on the back of a European disappointment if certain predictions go.
And Bournemouth are buoyant from
beating Chelsea, and they have to back it up with another win really for them to really push on. They need the win more. They probably need the win more than United actually at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Matt Thowney?
0-0.
It's every Manchester United game you predict this season. You're just going to get 0-0.
No, we went 2-1 last week for United, but I give up faith in them. they're the most boring side I've seen paint try.
But at least they can defend.
And them score.
At least they can defend. Yeah. Matt Tye?
1-0 Bournemouth.
I'm going to go 0-0. I understand Matt Thowney's point, and I completely agree with him. On the Sunday...
The early Sunday kickoff is Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Aston Villa are backed by the fact that Jack Grealish might be returning to training.
Backed? Is Jack Grealish back? I haven't saw him since the Wembley semi-final last season.
Well, yeah.
I think he's been drunk since then.
on the streets of Tenerife.
Oh, Jack Grealish. I The thing is with Grealish, the Tenerife one, I actually sort of supported him because it's the end of the season. There's no games. He's on his holiday. Do you know what I mean? He's what? I believe he's 20 years of age, our age, or just younger.
Just saying.
Oh, don't say that.
That street he passed out on, we used to walk regularly to my hotel.
He's on holiday. He's on holiday in Tenerife with his friends. Is he not allowed to get drunk?
No.
He's allowed to enjoy himself, but to pass out in such a state in a car park that's next to construction is not sensible, is it, Matt?
Testify.
Yeah, but I must say, going out after the loss to Everton in Manchester, going out and just, that's not on. Disappointing loss, and all you care about is getting drunk. You're meant to be one of the fans. You're meant to be one of the homegrown players, and he's lost the supporters.
Yeah. The only way he can win them back is if he gets the winning hat trick against Arsenal.
Well, the only way he can win them back is with good performances. And Jack Grealish, I genuinely mean this. He hasn't. It's not even he hasn't played well. He hasn't even played average.
See, since playing against Leicester last season and scoring that goal in a 2-2 draw against Leicester, he hasn't played well, in my opinion.
He's just. There's a reason he's been dropped, and that's not because of the.
Not necessarily just because of that. It's also because
he was training because of that. Yes, but I mean in terms of he was always on the bench and he wasn't starting because he wasn't playing well.
No.
I'm gonna predict first because I want to get it out of the way. I'm gonna go 3-0 Arsenal.
Now, normally you give yourself at least one goal.
No.
I'm gonna go.
You don't deserve it.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Arsenal. I am.
Thank you.
Jordan Ayew to score.
Jordan Ayew's actually been
decent.
At this point the brightest spark. Not very bright. It's like a sparkler that's damp and falling in the rain, but it's
bright.
Getting there. Matt Tye?
4-1 Arsenal.
You made that sound so depressing.
I am depressed. I'm a Villa fan.
In one of the two 4 o'clockers, it is Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool versus the
West
Baggies.
Bromwich Albion. That's actually a very good game for a neutral. Albion, good form, beat Arsenal, drew with Spurs, and play very well against
It's
Spurs.
at Anfield though.
It's at Anfield.
Yeah, they're going to lose that.
You say that, Palace beat Liverpool at Anfield. This is what I'm saying. Against a side like West Brom is when Liverpool
struggled.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. You're saying that West Brom have the same team as Palace?
I'm saying they could. West Brom have got a very good squad.
Yeah, but is that what you're saying?
Let's go with Matt Thowney's prediction.
Oh, okay then. Thank you very much. 4-1 Liverpool.
Matt Tye.
2-1 Liverpool. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
I'm going 3-1 Baggies. I genuinely think they can come away with that. I mean, they won there 3 years ago when it was similar sort of club statures. I don't want a Baggies to win personally, but I think they will.
And in the other 4 o'clockers, it is a possible European buoyant for Tottenham versus
Stephen Carr derby.
The Stephen Carr derby. Oh my days!
It's Tottenham versus Newcastle at White Hart Lane.
Is that genuinely a thing?
It is now.
Oh dear me.
Oh,
or the Scott Parker derby.
Not really.
Did Scott Parker play for Newcastle?
He did.
Yeah, he played after Chelsea.
I just think Stephen Carr is a better known player across England. You know.
Yeah.
Apart from his later years where he suddenly
disappeared,
dropped off the face of the earth, and I think he played for us. Is it Birmingham?
I think he was there.
I believe that's what they're called. Matt Thowney?
Well, Tottenham haven't been that good in the last 2 weeks. A 0-0 draw against Chelsea. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea played well that day. But then they
How many times have we
went
said
to
that this season?
They went to Albion and they didn't really pick up a result there neither, despite Albion playing well as well. So I think they'll come off the back of them two and get a result. So I'm going to go 2-1 Tottenham.
I'm going to go 2-2. Go for a Desmond.
3-2 Newcastle. As much as it pains me.
Ronaldo to score.
And then finally, the Monday night fixture, Leicester City will host Chelsea.
It's a hard one.
It's a hard one.
It's a very hard.
Because I don't know what Chelsea will turn up. So I don't know if we'll get steamrolled or it'll be a scrappy game where we have no finishing power.
I mean, form tells you Leicester win that game comfortably, but surely not just Leicester's great form, but Chelsea's really bad form. It's got to come to an end at some point.
I thought it was starting to come to an end. Then Saturday happened, and now I don't know.
You've also got to remember Chelsea play Porto, and if they get a win over Porto, a great side. If they get a win there, the confidence is back.
But again,
If they lose drastically,
we haven't won any game after playing in the Champions League this season.
there are a lot of things going against Chelsea. Yeah. Matt Thowney's prediction.
Oh, I'm going to go 2-0 Leicester.
Matt Tye?
I'm going to go 1-1. Give us a bit of a chance.
Yeah, I think I'll sit on the fence as well. 1-1. I do not want to call that either way.
No.
We said at 35 minutes into the podcast, we'll do the predictions because we got plenty of time to get through them. Sitting here at 10 minutes past the hour, we apologise for going over as such. We tried to keep this to an hour. So we're going to have to call it a time there.
Call it quits.
Not call it quits, no.
Call it quits for the day.
Call it quits for the day. We will be back next episode. Hopefully we'll have Graham, Mark, David, Stuart, any other guests you guys want to come on? Anyone else? Ronald McDonald? I don't know.
Other fast food chains are available. So Burger King can also appear in the Colonel.
So make sure you join us for episode 5. And as always, check out the blog, the Twitter, the Facebook. If you guys want to join the team, send us a
tweet or email.
We would prefer to have really a draft article just so we know if you can.
Right.
Well, we want to know your talents. Send us a draft article to rkfootballtalk@gmail.com, and hopefully you'll join the team just like David has in the last few weeks. And I believe that's all the plugs. Any more?
No, I think
that's all the plugs. So make sure you join us next week, where hopefully we won't be so depressed and Chelsea or Villa might actually get a win.
Strange things have happened.
Pigs might fly too. So see you guys next week.
Oink oink.
Yeah.